everyone, Sirturmund here again. For the next few videos on my channel, so this weekend is going to be the seasonal, right? So leading up to the seasonal, I want to bring you guys actually some good meta decks. We had a lot of fun yesterday with Jetties, which I actually think are good. But for those of you who are looking for preparation and kind of tips and advice to go into the seasonal, this next 3 or 4 videos are going to be just for you. So the first video we're going to start with is going to be Pirate Aggro. And the reason for that is because Pirate Aggro, this new version of Pirate Aggro, is probably one of the best decks in the whole game and does very well against Kai'Sa. So if you're an aggro player and you're looking to play like triple aggro lineup or something like that, this is where you start. You start with the Pirate deck. Now, when I mention new version of the deck, what do I mean exactly? Well, a player called 4LW, who's a Brazilian player, that if you guys have not followed him on their social medias and other stuff, then you're missing out. 4LW is like a great deck builder. He decided to add Boros and Riptide Sirturmund to the deck. And all of a sudden, he revived Pirates. Pirates had not been seen for like months. And all of a sudden, 4LW puts these 2 cards in here. And now the deck is back to being top tier 1 in the meta. Which is crazy. And the reason why these 2 cards work out really well is because, first of all, Riptide Sirturmund is burn, right? It's everything that Pirate wants. It's dealing 2 to the Nexus. It's removing an opponent's blocker. And it's giving you your own 3/3 attacker. It's absolutely nuts. For 6 mana, you cannot beat the value of this card. I think it's one of the best cards in this whole deck now. And then the Boros is really good because you are able to draw, right? So you're no longer running out of resources. It lets you have some nice open attacks because you can do Boros on your open attack and summon an additional 2/2 attacker. So now before where you could be Pirates by making them run out of resources, they have a harder time running out of resources, right? The rest of the deck is very straightforward to what it used to be before. You're playing Triple Butcher, Rearguard, Saboteur, Pressure Spec, so all your 1-drops, just trying to push a lot of damage early on. We are playing Triple Grenadier, Triple Marauder, Warden, because we want to try to go wide, and Warden helps us to do that. Notice that the card that we ended up cutting here is a Demolitionist. So Demolitionist is no longer played in this deck. I think that's fine. It makes sense with how this deck works out. Demolitionist kind of doesn't make the cut. Because you don't want to, there's a lot of things that you don't want to hit with your Demolitionist anyways. We are playing 1 Make It Rain. A lot of people are on 2 Make It Rains and then reduce one of the cards up here. I think the Eye and Riptide are just so much better than Make It Rain. So I ended up going down to just 1 Make It Rain. Still have your triple Fervor for the burn, triple Misfortune for an additional damage and making your units get even more value against the opponent's 1 health units. Twisted Fate, which actually has the potential of leveling up in this deck sometimes because of the Boros and the Sap being here. But usually, most times, you're using him for his red card or his gold card, right? So you can get rid of blockers or get rid of the opponent's whole board because of the red card. Sap just gets us into the Fervors. That's another reason why I cut down to 1 Make It Rain, because I want Sap to always set Fervor. And I was having a lot of issues with hitting Make It Rain multiple times. And then obviously Decimate to finish up the turn. So classic Pirate Aggro with a twist on the Illaoi package. Again, this deck is one of the best decks in the meta. So as you're prepping for your seasonal lineup, we showcased Darkness a few days ago. You're looking to Darkness, you're looking to Pirate, and you're looking to Kai'Sa, right? So those are kind of like the 3 decks that you should build your lineup around, in my opinion. Or you're looking to beat at least 2 of those decks, right? So we're gonna start. We already showcased Darkness. We're gonna start with Pirate Aggro. Obviously, we'll showcase Kai'Sa again. I know you guys are not a fan of Kai'Sa, but Kai'Sa is also probably with the top deck in the meta. So I want to showcase it for all of you that are preparing for the seasonal. So we'll start with Pirate today. We'll go with Kai'Sa tomorrow, and then 2 other decks that I think are really good for the upcoming seasonal meta. So enjoy these 4 videos of meta decks. And I hope you enjoy the games coming up soon. And as always, if you like the content, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. I'll see you all at the end of the video for some Mulligan tips. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Ezreal Kennen. Some of the lists play Eye of the Dragon, which could be a little bit awkward. Kind of like other 1-drops, but I also feel like I need to keep the Butcher just in case that I don't get any other 1-drop. Yeah, we get the Rearguard. Boros is actually not bad. I think it's good. Stops me from running out of resources. This is such a good card, by the way. This is such a good card. Probably one of the best cards released recently. Okay, so we got Rearguard, which is hard for the opponent to block. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. He's just saying, I guess he's just saying what's up. He did that after I summoned my rear guy, so I was like, you losing already? Like, what is this? What is this? We can pass? Yeah, I guess we're not gonna pass. I still like doing the Nakaboros. I still like doing the Nakaboros here. And then we have the Sirturmund too. Oh, he's gonna just heal. Why do this now? Yeah, why do this now? I'm confused. So I'm gonna go here then. I'm gonna just push 2 damage. And then play the Butcher that's gonna be activated. And I still have mana for Sirturmund next turn to kill the dragon. If opponent has Twin and they use their Twin right here, they're not getting any heal from it. So yeah, we just push the 2 damage here. That's an interesting Dragon Lane. Because I think he just wasted 2 spells. I guess he's just slowing us down though, right? So his game plan is to slow us down. So that, I guess that makes sense. Ezreal is kind of annoying, but Ezreal does lose, right? Ezreal does lose to the server. So do we just wait here then? But I don't think we summon the Ezreal. I think we just summon the Eye of the Dragon, right? What is gonna Mystic? So I'm gonna wait for the Mystic. I'm gonna wait for the Mystic first. I'm gonna wait for the Mystic first. A Twin will be the only annoying part here to the Sirturmund. Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna get the Eye of the Dragon for free. Sure. If you wanna give me that, if you wanna give me the Eye of the Dragon like that, be my guest, right? The Eye of the Dragon is literally the biggest thing I have to worry about. I guess you Mystic Shot the Precious Pet. You Mystic Shot... wait, he can't even Mystic Shot anymore. So all he's doing is just doing Macro the Storm. There's no way that's correct, right? You don't really have a good blocker anywhere. And if he doesn't block the Tentacle, we have the Nakaboros to make it even bigger. I want to play around the Concussive Palm. So even though I want to summon the Savager, I think it's correct to just open. I think it's correct to open so that we play around the Concussive Palm, right? If the opponent taps out of 4 mana, I'm willing to commit the Nakaboros to push an additional 2 damage here. Okay. I guess it's gonna recall, stun. Yeah, see, so we would have lost to the Concussive Palm if we tried to summon the Savager. So let's just push our 2 extra damage here. When it still goes down to 11. Gets the second cannon, which is not even killing the Tentacle anymore. But he does start working on the level up on the Ezreal. I think I don't want to summon the Savager yet. I think I'm gonna go Sap, so that we have a blocker for Ezreal. We have the burn with the Decimates. I think it's better to still... Okay, well, if he goes like this, then I guess we don't have to summon the Sap just yet. I think we pass. I think we pass and see what he does first. Okay. We can do Grenadier. This is safe enough. I wanna keep the Sap as an attacker, right? I want the Sap as an attacker. Alright, so opponent's gonna be able to kill. Opponent's gonna be very close. It's gonna be 4 triggers, so he's gonna be 6 out of 8. It's gonna be close to leveling up that Ezreal. But that's not true, because he can't replay the second cannon. So he can kill this guy, doing 1 to my Nexus. And now that he did that, he's telling me, go ahead and do your Sap. He doesn't have the Lightning Rush. I guess he can kill the Sap with the double Mark of the Storms. But I'm okay with him killing Sap right here. Has 7 mana, so I think we definitely develop next turn. I think we definitely develop the second Sap, and then the Savager, and then we have all the burn that we need in our hand. We get punished by a second Tail of the Dragon, a second Concussive Palm. The other question is that if we don't open, the opponent can summon Kennen and then just stun our Tentacle. And I don't know how I feel about that. But it's too easy for him to have a punish, right? It's too easy for him to have a punish. Like, regardless. So yeah, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go Sap. We probably get Make It Rain or Fervor. Sure. Make It Rain, not the greatest one, but also not bad, right?
The order rewards its faithful.
It's gonna stun this Tentacle. I don't want to Make It Rain right now, because if the opponent has the recall, it could be a punish. Kind of want to Make It Rain after the fact, but if we don't Make It Rain now, like, we have so many good targets. I like to Make It Rain now. We only hit one of the targets. So we wanted to hit some of the other targets, but we hit at least one, right? We hit at least one. The opponent can no longer block with the Ezreal. Recalling the Kinko doesn't matter to us. Kennen is leveling up. We have enough mana for the burn next turn. We have to just be careful that we just like to die to the Ezreal, right? The good thing is that he's not getting his next Kennen until after the fact. So we might be okay. Might be okay. Opponent goes to 9, goes to 8 from the Savager, can die to double decimate. So he always needs to keep enough mana for the denies. He's gonna just twin. Wow. Can stun this one. We'll need to sacrifice everything else, right? So even if he stuns here, he's still sacrificing his whole board. So sure, you get this stun. If you don't sacrifice your Kennen, you're still going down to 5? Yeah, there we go. Sacrifices a Kennen. Unless he's gonna recall this Kennen too. Gets to replay Kennen, gets another mark. I think we're still fine. We have 8 plus 3, that's gonna be 11. So we have enough for the double decimate. Kennen does level up though, which is a problem. So opponent's getting 2 marks, so he will be able to level up the Ezreal. But opponent needs to always have mana for the 9. Always needs to have the mana for the denies. Or I guess it could be a second Telstones, Ionian Telstones. So even with the level of Ezreal here, we should be okay. So we're gonna go like this. Because I don't think the opponent can kill us before we kill them. So we go 1 decimate. Okay, so that means that he doesn't have the deny. That means he doesn't have the deny and he's looking for it. Does he get it? Yep, gets the first deny. Cool. That means he doesn't have access to Mystic Shot, right? So he can level up the Kennen here. But that's all he can do? He can level up the Kennen, but that's all he can do. I mean, sorry, level up the Ezreal. He doesn't have access to the Mystic Shot. We know that he didn't have a deny, so he had to search for it. The problem is that, I mean, if he has a second deny, we just lose. We're never blocking these cannons because we don't want to give him another mark, right? So we just block here. Opponent levels up Ezreal. We still have 14. Gets 1 mark from here. Still needs to find the value everywhere else. Yeah, just kill our unit. Yeah, go ahead. Kills our unit. And we actually... If we don't summon any units, he can't even do the mark. So he can't even use the mark that he's gonna get from the cannon right here. We go here. Did you top deck the second deny? Yeah, doesn't top deck it. And there we go. The Tailstones could have been enough, right? But we had the Fervor to back up the Tailstones, if anything. So, yeah. Triple Decimate for the win. GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against the Mirrors. So, Pirate Aggro versus Pirate Aggro. I tend to find that Twisted Fate ends up working really well in this matchup. This hand is not bad. This hand is not bad. I like the Ana Akaboros a lot. I like the Ana Akaboros a lot. Ideally, we want to trigger the Butchers, right? So if we can trigger the Butchers, I think we're in a good spot. Yeah, let's start with the Savager. Let's just push our damage here. Let's push our damage here. Sure, you can block. We don't need to do it right now. Ideally, I want like a 2-drop. Savager is also really good. You know what? Let's do it this way. If you have Make It Rain, I'm okay with you doing the Make It Rain here. That's too much damage, right? Let's do the Butcher. Let's do the Butcher. We block the Warden. We attack with the Savager. We have a second Butcher anyways. We get punished by the Make It Rain. We get punished by the Make It Rain, right? Which means I don't think it's correct. I don't think it's correct to block there because of the Make It Rain. I'm willing to open just so that we can trigger the Butcher. But now that we got this, maybe it's actually better to go here. Okay, so if we go here and here, we don't have enough mana for Sermon next turn. I think I actually want to have enough mana for Sermon. So I'm going to go like this, play Butcher, and have the mana for the Sermon to punish the opponent's develop, right? I think the Sermon is more important than having the Rearguard on this spot. So opponent doesn't have their own mana for their Sermon. And this is also not a blocker, right? So it's kind of like Aqua playing this. And we'll have the Ana Akaboros to make this spawn unit even bigger. You know what? Yeah, let's just do it now. Let's just do it now. Gives ourselves another blocker in case the opponent has another unit here. We can sacrifice this guy into the Grenadier. Yeah, we can kill the Precious Pet.
No one's the wiser. Behind ya.
I'm still concerned about Make It Rain. I'm still concerned about the Make It Rain, right? So I think I'm gonna go like this. Gonna go like this and just do the Ana Akaboros. So that we can have this unit become bigger and push 5. So opponent has to block it. Or we just do Misfortune. Okay, so it's just Misfortune now. It's just Misfortune with double Rearguard. Okay, opponent has their own Sermon, but we still have double Rearguard, so they need to block. Maybe it had to be Rearguard first, actually. So we actually got a little bit jumpy. If we do the Rearguard first, opponent probably still does the same play. And we're still in a good spot. Right? Decides to go after this one, which means that my tentacle is gonna get bigger. Yeah, so if we do the Rearguard first, I think opponent still does the same, right? But we're able to kill the Precious Pet. So we got a little bit jumpy. As soon as we set a Misfortune, we have to play the Rearguards out first and just bait out whatever opponent's gonna do before we play Misfortune last. Let's wait. Yep. Let's wait.
Looking for trouble? It found you.
I still think it's correct to draw. I think it's still correct to draw. We go down to 8. Opponent's down to a single card. We're back to 3 cards in our hand. We can play Misfortune and then Twisted Fate second. We have 7 mana. So we're able to get rid of his unit. So now we lose to double Decimate. But there's not a lot of other hands that beat us, right? So Misfortune first. Maybe it's not actually red card. How does he keep getting all these cards, huh? Okay, and now it has to be red card. Now it's red card. Now it's red card, so we get rid of one attacker, and it lets us also attack with Twisted Fate into the Tentacle. We have only a burn hand. When it goes to 10, we have 7, so we need one more burn. We got there?
Explosives primed.
I think we pass. But we lose to Decimate now. We lose to Decimate and to Fervor. So we lose to Decimate and Fervor. Does being at two does matter, right? Because being at 2 means that we lose to the... Yeah, being at 2 means that we lose to... You know, if he has it, he has it, right? At this point, if the opponent has it, they have it. I can't play around it. I have to go Fervor here. Decimate, Decimate. If they find their own Fervor or they find the Decimate, they then win the game. If they find their own Decimate or find their own Fervor, they win the game. Needs to dig for it. Okay, so needs to dig. He gets 2 draws. He gets 2 draws. He gets 2 draws to find it. Oh. Oh, whoa, whoa. We open with it so that we can play around Sap into Fervor. And we got it. Yeah, we need to play around Sap. We need to play around Sap, so we also have to open up with the Decimate. Not like it matters, because we're never attacking the Precious Spider anyways, but... Whoa, that's as close as he gets. GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Panicky playing... Akshan Kai'Sa. I don't know if I like Twisted Fate. I like the Precious better than I like Misfortune. I want to go more aggressive, right? So both of the 4-drops are a little bit too expensive for what we want to do. So we'll go ahead and do Precious Bet. Unfortunately, we didn't get any other 1-drop, right? So I'm looking for another 1-drop here. That's a shame. Is it just 2 damage? Or do we do the Butcher for just 2? I get punished by the Broadwind. I have to just go like this. It kind of sucks not getting 1-drops, right? Because if the opponent has the Broadwind here, and we play the Butcher, yeah, he could block the Butcher with the Broadwind, and then be able to still pull the Precious Pet, right? So we have to just attack with the Precious Pet. Comes a little bit too late, right? This guy comes a little bit too late, as always. Let's let him get his attack in if he wants to. And then I guess we play Misfortune. The problem is that the Misfortune doesn't stop the Broadwind, right? Because the Broadwind now has Tough in it, with it. So we're pushing damage with it, but it's not gonna be enough. I guess we can go Grenadier first, and then Precious Pet second, and we also have the second Misfortune. Sure. So we go like this. Opponent just blocks here, blocks there, still has the Broadwind. It's gonna have a Kai'Sa that's gonna be leveled up. If we attack with Misfortune as well, we're still losing her to almost everything. I think we keep Misfortune back. I think I force him to have to... Okay, if he wants to take that damage, it's fine. I think I force him to have to pull the Misfortune with the Broadwind. We're just gonna pretend that the opponent doesn't have Kai'Sa, right? We're gonna pretend that the opponent doesn't have Kai'Sa.
We love it when they run.
Could do this. Still gets value here. We could also twist the Fate and then... Is Make It Rain worth it? Just to get rid of all his units? You know, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Red card, Make It Rain. Potentially get rid of all his units. Saboteur. That way opponent doesn't get good attacks here. So we have a good chance of hitting both of them, right? Okay, we have a good chance of hitting 3 of them.
Explosives primed. We'll get our licks in.
I wanna keep this one alive. I hope that this one stays alive. Okay, we hit 2 of them. We don't hit the Merciless Hunter though, which is kind of annoying. So opponent still gets blockers everywhere. He doesn't have a blocker for Twisted Fate though, because this goes down to 1. He loses both the units. We still push 3 damage, and we're down to a single card. Huh. Do we play? Wow, this is tough. This is tough. There's a good chance that they have another blocker. But even with the another blocker, this is still going to be more damage if we do it this way. So I think it's Riptide Sermon. I think it's Sermon. The punish here is going to be Rider Negation into a different blocker. So I like the Sermon here. Even if the opponent has like Kai'Sa, for example, I don't care about losing Twisted Fate. I just want to have another attacker so that we push more damage. This way we're pushing at least 4, right? So this way we're pushing at least 4, and now the opponent is still vulnerable to a Decimate plus something else. He also tapped out a Radiant Guardian now. Concerted? Still goes down to 6. Still goes down to 6. So it still goes down to 6. He's able to pull this, right? We need Sap. We need Sap, Fervor, second Decimate. Make it rain is not enough. Sure. Rider Negation? I want to do it right now. It looked like the opponent... Okay, they top decked it. I was going to say, it looked like they didn't have it last turn, right? So it looked like they didn't have it last turn, but they top decked it this turn. So a little bit unfortunate there for us. A little bit unfortunate. Anakaboros? That's not an Anakaboros. We go like this. Make it rain. Push the damage. Are we still losing though? We're still losing to almost everything. We're losing to almost everything. This is not... Yeah, that's the Radiant Guardian. So now we need the Fervor. So he got to get the Radiant Guardian there. And that's game. Actually, let's see it. If he doesn't have the Board Abomination, I think I'm okay with this. There's like a minuscule chance that we can level up TF if we get the Anakaboros. Okay, he also has the Abomination. So if he didn't have the Abomination, we had a chance, right? Maybe attacking that was incorrect because he gave him access to be able to do the Radiant Guardian. But yeah, GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Mats playing Katarina Caitlyn. Is this just... You know what? This might just be... I cannot discard it. I cannot take this out, right? Because I need to have at least a 1-drop here that I can hit. This might just be Tribing. This might just be Tribing. This plays around Fervor. I mean, around Thermal, right? Okay, well, he doesn't play around the 4th Chief. Doesn't play around the 4th Chief. Plays around the Thermal but not the 4th Chief. A little bit unfortunate there. Wasn't expecting the 4th Chief. Usually I'm so used to them not having any 1-drop. Well, he has 2 of them. We lose both Anakaboros. Kind of unfortunate there. Static Shock is a punish here. Katarina could come down as well. That's a lot of value. And we lost the 2 damage from the Precious Pet last turn. Opponent could be at 18 right now. Instead, they keep themselves at 20. Guess they have 6 mana next turn. I mean, the punish here is Misfortune, right? So, if you don't attack, you get punished by Misfortune or Make It Rain. Neither of which we have. So, you might as well attack. You get full mana. You get another Mystic here. He's down to 3 cards, though. Down to 3 cards, so maybe we're okay. Maybe? I like the Grenadier. I like the Grenadier over the Butcher, because we can always... Once the Grenadier dies, you'll be able to trigger our Butcher. So like this, right? So he kills the Grenadier, lets us summon the Butcher, which means that we're able to push the 3 damage. What is down to 3 cards. We get some value from the sap. We are also down to 3 cards, and we lost 2 Iron Akaboros, so we know we're not gonna draw them. Justice Rider. Interesting. Opponent really committed 2 Mystics. Opponent really committed 2 Mystics, right? So 4, 7, 8. We need to find 8 more damage that we can do to the two mats. And I don't know how we get there. I'm gonna keep this guy here to just eat up the flash bombs, right?
Anyone hurt?
What? What? Do I have to summon? Wait, what? So this is not thriving, I can tell you that. Do I have to summon now? And do I have to summon this Justice Rider? Or do we have to save summon for Katarina? I think we have to save the summon for Katarina. I don't know if it's the Justice Rider that we're killing with the summon. I mean, sorry, the Marauder. Right? Okay, we got a second summon. So now we get punished by not doing it last turn, I guess. Because now the opponent is able to get these guys to go way too big. So opponent gets a lot of body here because these guys are going to go to 4. So they don't die right here, right? They don't die right here. Now they do that to a Make It Rain though, which is kind of funny. I need, so 3, 5. I need to hit this. I need to hit this. And this should be lethal. Now we need to hit the Make It Rain though. So we need to hit that Make It Rain. So we would need to hit the Make It Rain to have lethal. I guess we could also just play the rear guard. Yeah, let's play the rear guard. Let's play the rear guard to eat up the flash bombs.
What do we got here? Need a second.
This allows us to eat up the flash bombs. And potentially, okay, well, we just need Misfortune now, right? We just need Misfortune now. Opponent has the rally. Opponent has the rally. Right? Opponent has the rally. So if they have the rally, I need to do it like this. So they have the rally. They have the rally. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna do the Make It Rain right now. We have 60% chance, right? It's 3 hits. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. Is that enough?
No one's the wiser.
Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the 5 from the Tactician. That is enough. The Tactician is enough to kill us here. Ooh, doesn't have it. Doesn't have it. Doesn't have the Tactician with Misfortune. We could have also done it with Decimate. But let's go ahead and just do the Misfortune. Just for style points. We missed that Make It Rain last time, but we ended up getting the Decimate anyways. The Tactician could have been the way that we lost, right? So I had to play around the Desati Tactician. So we had to play that Spider last turn. That way we have 2 blockers. We have to sacrifice a Misfortune, of course. But we at least have the 2 blockers. So, GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Timelines. And we get there. Probably don't want this burn that early. Ooh, Jagged Butcher is interesting. I kind of like it. I kind of like keeping this curve. 2 drop, 3 drop. Okay, perfect. Saboteur is even better. I guess we lose to the Thermal. They never had Thermal though, right? They never have Thermal. Yep. Okay, casually just push 3 damage. We can do Mariah Warden. We have an option on turn 3. Is it a Misfortune or we can do Mirai plus Butcher? And I actually think it might be better to go wide. I think it might actually be better to go wide and just put as much damage as possible, because Misfortune's only really going to push 3 damage. Misfortune also dies to get excited, right? I guess the benefit here with Misfortune depends on what he gets here, right? Because if he has like a 3 health unit, okay, 2 health means that we can still block with everything. Huh. Isn't this bad? Because if I play Misfortune, wouldn't you rather be able to kill Misfortune? Sure. I think I like blocking with the Hound. Technically, it might be better to block with the other ones. Let's go wide. Yeah, let's go wide. Let's just go wide. That way we have, okay, so he did it that way, so he's gonna try to go for the he's gonna go for the stance swap, right? So he's gonna try to go for the stance swap to clear my board, but he says 6, and this is gonna be 3. The stance is gonna put him at 2. We have lethal. We actually have lethal. Like, even if you go for your value here, right? You go for the stance swap. We go for Misfortune. If we go for the stance swap, we might just fervor now. We might just fervor now. And the reason we're gonna fervor right now is so that we can play around like a Mystic later. So this already puts the opponent at 1 HP, right? At 2 HP. We can twist the fate, removing his commander blocker, and we still have 3 attackers for lethal. Okay, now we're just gonna decimate. Never mind. We're just gonna decimate. There's no reason to anything else. Yeah, I mean, the moment that we got the decimate, it was fine. He's so greedy, right? He's so greedy to do it that way. He took that extra 2 damage last turn so that he could do the stance swap on the commando and get value from the commando. But he just put them way too low. So yeah, GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Kennen, Ezreal. Eye of the Dragon is the weird part here, right? They tend to play Eye of the Dragon. I don't like the Butcher. Since we got the Saboteur and the Mirai Warning, I think that's good enough value. I think we try to find like Misfortune or Twisted Fate instead of the Butcher. We don't get either, but we get a second Mirai, which is pretty good too. So Saboteur here. Opponent usually doesn't play Thermal in my experience. So we get to push 3 damage here. Warden on turn 2. Warden on turn 3. And if we get another 1-drop in the next 2 draws, then I don't see how they can't come back from that. Don't get the other 1-drop though. Sure. Crinkly Caretaker could have been better, but I'm not complaining. I guess they could have... Is it the open? Is it just the open and having mana for Riptide Summer next turn? I kind of like this open, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe not. Nah, I think it's the Mirai. I think it's the Mirai. Okay, so we make up for the Caretaker hit by doing the rear guard. Even if the opponent has Concussive Palm, I'd rather take it out of the way now, and we still push the same amount of damage. I guess we push 1 less damage because the Saboteur doesn't get to attack. We still push 5. We would have pushed 6 if we open. Alright, so opponent can go for Ezreal. And it's because they had a second Ezreal, okay. So we still got to push the same amount of damage as if we had open attack, while losing the mana for Sermon. Now, if the opponent doesn't open attack here, they get punished by the sap. So they kind of need to open attack in response, right? We have 9 burn in our hand. Alright, well, opponent just kind of threw the game back at us, huh? And we get the Make It Rain on top of it? Sign me up. Sign me up. What if we go here? Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's game. Yep. Yeah, that's game. That's game. Yeah. Now, what now? You can only save 1. You can only save 1 with the recall. Decides to save the cannon. We just open, right? We just open, push the 5, because if the cannon gets to summon, he gets to stun my sap. So if cannon goes in the field, he gets to stun my sap. Well, we're not gonna open anymore. It's gonna be misfortune. Go ahead. Get the sap kill. Get the sap kill, and you're just gonna go as wide as possible. You get to kill sap, you get to sacrifice your cannon into something. We still get to push almost all the damage, and then next turn we can just burn. Burn, burn, baby, burn. Every time I say that I'm just gonna open, I get baited by the next draw, right? Concussive Palm. And Concussive Palm is, yeah, Concussive Palm is not even that good, because his unit still dies, right? So his unit still dies. I attack with Misfortune too, there's no reason not to. He gets to stun here. His cannon will still die, otherwise he goes down to 6. Decides that it's better to go down to 6 rather than... Okay. Alright. Once again, we push the same amount of damage as if we had open attack. I just get baited by not opening attacking, you know? Twisted Fate is not bad. Yeah. Twisted Fate is not bad. That's a pretty nasty red card. I literally have like every answer. This is the type of games that if I was the opponent, I would be like raging right now. Like everything that they wanted to do, I got the perfect answer for it. I hit the perfect make a rain. Like, oh, that's so nasty. GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Kai'Sa Akshan. Technically, you know, we are supposed to be favorable here. We are supposed to be favorable here. I think our hand is a little bit awkward though. I like keeping them alive because we're attacking on turn 2. But I want to see if I can get a 1-drop. Okay, perfect. We got a 1-drop. So, Saboteur or Rear Guard? We can also just go double 1-drop here. Let's start with the Rear Guard first, right? The Rear Guard is able to beat the Broadwind, and it also doesn't get blocked by the Boiling. So this is good. Question here is... Let's do Marai. Let's do Marai. That's a good roll. That's a good roll, right? Yeah, that's a good roll. If the opponent blocks here, he won't be able to kill the rear guard anyways, right? So I think it's fine. We still push 3. We can go Saboteur, Butcher. I want to see if I can get value from Butcher before we play him. That's why I'm being a little bit greedy about it. We don't get to play the Saboteur this turn because the opponent can drag with the Broadwind. So we just go like this. I want to make sure that he doesn't have a good pool with the Broadwind. Even if he summons another unit here, he does not. Now, our hand is a little bit low value. Sure. So he can kill one of them. Alright. Let's go all in then. Let's go all in and just push as much damage as possible. Opponent gets a good blocker here, will actually be okay for us. We have a lot of burn, but not enough units to actually use the burn. So 4, 7, 10. We're missing 1 damage. We're missing 1 damage. I kind of like doing Fervor right now. I kind of like doing the Fervor right now and just be mana efficient. The problem is that we still need 1 damage. So we need Twisted Fate, we need Misfortune, Saboteur. We do this. Opponent just tapped. Opponent tapped out of our negation. So this makes the most sense right now. Cool. Now opponent tapped out of a challenger, so we can go ahead and do the Saboteur. So opponent taps out of a challenger, so we can do the Saboteur. We only need 1, right? We should do both. We should do both. We should do both. I like doing both. I like pushing the 2 damage. Because now this means that he also loses to a Riptide Sermon, right? So by getting him down to 2, opponent also loses to a Riptide Sermon, which they wouldn't have lost to otherwise, right? So they wouldn't have lost to the Riptide Sermons if we didn't do this. So now we go like this. There's no reason to let her die. Opponent could have run a negation here, and we get punished for that. So now we get punished. Opponent goes to 4. I forgot about run a negation for some reason. Oh, that's a bad play. That's a bad play. I completely forgot about Rod Negation being able to cancel the skills on the stack. So now it has to be decimated exactly because Ceremony is not enough. Wow, we just got baited out. We just got baited out by the biggest misplay of our life. I just got baited out for the biggest misplay of my life. Yeah, I forgot about Rod Negation being able to cancel skills. I don't deserve that win. Alright, don't be like me. Don't be like me. Don't be like me and make those misplays like that. Think about your plays. I was so greedy about keeping a unit alive that I didn't even think about it. So, GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games. We made a lot of misplays. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You saw us in the game against Henneke. Somehow we pulled that off, right? But it was crazy. Why am I thinking doing that fervor on the stack when the opponent can just do Rider Negation, right? It was nuts. It was nuts. It was a misplay. It still ended up working out, right? But jeez. Everything else though, I mean, the deck is still playing the same way, but it does take a lot of thinking to it, right? You do have to think about how you want to play your turns out. For the most part, you are just kind of spilling out your units on turn 1 and 2, your early units, and then finishing up with burn. But you have to be smart to play around stuff. Like obviously, Ferber is really good to play around like Radiant Guardians that a lot of the Kai'Sa decks have. Riptide Sermon is really good at killing like a leveled up Kai'Sa if for some reason the opponent summons her not leveled up, sorry. And you also have to kind of see when you want to keep the Butcher, when you want to trigger the Butcher. There's a lot more thinking to Aggro than people give it credit for. The deck requires a lot more thinking, and that's why I really like it. So if you're looking for a really strong deck and you kind of like this aggressive approach, Pirates is the top deck to go for. In terms of mulligan, you just want to go for your 1-drops, right? So you saw it there in a lot of the matchups. If I already have a 1-drop, then I think I keep the Mirai as well. So you're going for your 1-drops and then the Mirai, because the Mirai does put a lot of pressure by letting us go wide. But for the most part, you want to make sure that you get at least one 1-drop, especially if you're attacking on turn 1, because that way you can start just putting a lot of pressure right at the bat. So look for your 1-drops, look for your Mirai, and then you kind of look for your other cards later in the game. You definitely want to just get your burn later into the game as the game progresses instead of getting it early. But enough about that. Hope you enjoyed the games today. If you liked the video, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch and Twitch Sirturmund. We stream 3 to 4 times a week. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.